the NFL on EA Sports. And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the football team and the Lions on Monday Night Prime Time.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Washington football team. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for visiting Washington, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. And a look here at their guy under center.
And he just continues to throw touchdown pass after touchdown pass, leading the league here down the final stretch of the year. Guys will say that the numbers and the rankings, they don't matter to him very much. But I don't know how much I actually believe that. Sure, he's team first, but I think everyone would like to see him finish number one, including himself.
The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down. Now, this defense for the Lions, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Washington going to send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Now a hit and a loose football. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. The numbers for him from a week ago: 20 carries, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
Definitely productive, including scoring his 14th touchdown of the season last week. It's going to be fun to watch the matchup now because he has a nose for the end zone. So if you're a defender, what's your job? Keep him out.
And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
Has a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. Here's Corey Bojorquez now. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
Steps away to his left. And some room to maneuver. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
It's a gain of 25 yards.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. They'll set up a throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that power, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to the ground with Gibson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Gibson here running out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow.
Either way.
Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past him.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Lions Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to rifle one deep left side.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 29. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And, partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside.
2nd and 5.
Flushed out right. And he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, last sack's got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And this will come out to the 25 as Jones elects for the touchback. The Washington offense back out there.
And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
And here's a give to Gibson.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
The Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. Washington going to send out their punter
as he'll kick it away for the second time. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return, and the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. As the season winds down and you look at them in totality, you know, the offense has struggled. The defense has been pretty good, so I would imagine the changes this offseason may be more on the offensive side of the ball.
And this is where we always hear the term complementary football, because as you noted, the defense has played well enough for them to win games, and the offense has held them back.
And the Washington pressure gets to him, and he will go down. Chase Young racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down. They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed every...
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And this one nearly picked off. Well, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 10. He's going to keep this again. Fights loose. Room to run past midfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he's got this down to the 35.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up north at MetLife Stadium over in New Jersey, where it was the Giants who pick up the victory at home. The Giants are ready to make some noise in the playoffs, as with 1 week to go, they move their mark to 12-4. Next, we head off to check out another game, and it was the visiting Atlanta Falcons who come in and get the victory. Amon-Ra St. Brown, well over 100 yards receiving, and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, let's get up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Josh Allen, excellent in the victory. as it's one that pushes his guys 2 games above 500. On now to a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Washington. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Lions, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and now it winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, they're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Open man is Duvernay. And he is going to have the Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Jamin Davis there to bring him down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Here comes the Lions punter now. He's been terrific so far. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out comes the Washington offense as we get a look at the playoff race in the NFC. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Time for another look at this Lions offense. Another important fourth-quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he stopped immediately there.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. Now a handoff here to his running back. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right through. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Oh, nice move.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 40. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And his kick is absolutely perfect. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning.
Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. This a very important drive, and that incompletion leads to a very important 3rd down here if they're going to try and get the football back.
Yeah, getting it back, absolutely crucial to their chances to try and win this game. I would expect a lot of pressure here. They can't afford to let them continue to get first downs and eat away at the clock.
And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Here comes the Lions punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Back to throw. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too.
I believe the referee's been buzzed. Yeah, they want to take another look at
that. Gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. So that's the 2nd time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually, you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And he's going to be taken down short of the first, right around the 15-yard line. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave them looking at a 4th and 1.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Lions, they moved to 7-9 on the year with the win.